Most of the varieties are now in full bloom, and we have seen that we have enough pollination at this moment on a lot of the trees. So we made the task maps ready to spray, and we are now spraying an application map. So we can see that the sprayer is turning on and off automatically to the map that we have. So this is a field of earth burning, and we are spraying this completely on application map, but we spray about 80% of the trees of this field, because that's how much blossom this field has. Yeah, we just need to thin it up. So also driving a little bit slower because we don't have the fastest switching sprayer. So we just need to slow down a little bit, make sure that we hit proper trees. Well, as you can see here, we have a lot of bloom, so there's only a few trees where it doesn't stay like these two, and then it continues again. So looks like perfect. So that shows how accurate the scan maps are also. Now that everything on tree level and not anymore an estimate from the drone. So that's going to make a lot of difference in the future. Doing everything on tree level instead of drone with an estimate tree position means that we don't average how high and low blossom. So we are way more accurate. So let's quickly swap over to the new field. So I already prepared everything. So P3, this one is like finished. So deactivate it. And we're gonna hop over to P4. Start this field. When it started, we should be able to see it on the GPS map, and when we see it on the GPS map, we still have to activate the display on application map. Now displaying an application map, and we can proceed. Just want that to be at the bottom. Now turn on the sprayer, that beam is there, so we're ready to start spraying this field. So let's go. So this field has a little bit different. See, this field has a little bit of different flowering, so there's a lot of trees that we don't really want to spray. So I can take a look. Let's get down and how we display them. Well, a tree with a lot of blossom did get hit, and this one is wet. So these are all wet. This one's wet, 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 and this one is not wet. So that's perfect. And this one again is wet. So it means this one did not get thin. It did, however, get a few drops, because we always got some drops which go with the air and it just keeps going. But this one did not get full load, it's just a very little bit, and it only has a few flowers. So let's hope these flowers make it or are pollinated. This one, of course, needs the thinning, and it needs another round, as most of the flowers are still closed, and we want to thin these out as well. So that's how it's performing behind the sprayer. So altogether, that's going quite well. So it's really nice to see that we don't hit this tree, because this one still can produce a few apples if we don't spray it. Same goes for this one. If this one is gonna produce 30 apples, then I'm really happy, because if we would hit this with ATS, it would be a lot less. And that also means that we get a lot more apples on that one next year, which we have to throw off then. So this will definitely balance out the growth and blossom on the trees. Alright, so now we're spraying, and we're on the Ulster in our middle field, and this one has a lot of alternation. As you can see on the display, the sprayer has to turn on and off a lot, and you can also see it on the blossom. It's also highly alternating.
Constructie millimeter voor 1099. Juist. Of je nou bent, 2. Al je boodschappen en
Alright, so we just sprayed the L-Star as we really needed to thin them out. So we used the tunnel sprayer for that and it worked absolutely marvelous. So having the tree scout, being able to know where the trees are exactly and having them blossom scanned accurately seems to make a lot of sense. You can definitely see the difference from my point of view between the drone images that we took in the years before and how the tree scout is performing now. I mean, trees like this, I just didn't hit a tree like this, but I still hit a tree like that. And that means this tree is gonna do everything to make every flower on this tree produce an apple. And if you look at it, it still has a lot of flowers. They are not all open yet, but we really would not want to put ATS on flowers which are open already, because they probably are not yet pollinated and we would just lose them. But trees like this one and this one are also not hit, so they would deliver the perfect amount of apples. And in the classic way, we would just hit them and then you know that you get a lot less apples on them, while they at this moment are still able to produce the maximum amount that they can produce without sacrificing quality. So that's what we do it for, to get the most yield out of the field without sacrificing any quality. And another advantage is a tree with not enough apples is also going to have quality issues, because the apples become too big and that makes them vulnerable for a lot of sicknesses. So if we spray accurately, so we grow a bit more apples on a tree which is almost empty, then we know that we get less sicknesses on the tree. And of course it will also greatly improve the bearing for next year, as we know we're not draining the energy of the tree this year, so it can still produce a lot next year and it will not become an alternating year next year. So that's all just great. It's a lovely time, and I spent the whole day driving with the sprayer because I had to do all the fields. But at this moment we are finished and it's about time, because it's another 20 to 30 minutes and then the sun is completely down, so we really need it. Well, it's now about 24 hours ago when we did the blossom thinning. We are still not completely at full bloom at the All-Star. Well, it's debatable. I mean, full bloom means the flowers are falling, and there's not a lot of flowers falling. I mean, we can find a few flowers here and there, so it is full bloom, just. So let's say it's full bloom. Must have happened in the past hour, but that's where we are. And what we can see really nice on the trees already is that the flowers start to burn off, and that's the damage that we did yesterday by spraying them to get rid of all the flowers which are too much. And now the really enjoyable thing is, if you take a tree with less flowers, then we can really see that that tree just did not get hit. So this tree, like this one here, it still took a little bit, but it didn't take the full blow, and therefore a lot of flowers will still produce of apples. And this one still took some because it's in between of two other trees, and my sprayer just isn't switching fast enough to do it very accurate. So if we walk here, then we can see that flowers on this tree have not been hit, so they are all still in pretty good shape, while all the other flowers are being burned off. So these trees are still going to produce a lot of apples, even though we had all the other ones to drop off the flowers which are not pollinated yet. So we know that a tree like this one is still going to produce apples, while a tree like this one, we definitely thinned it out a lot. And that's what it's all about. And if you walk forward to this tree, we can see again this one did not get hit. And if you look at it, I haven't counted them, I would say it has about 80 flowers, quick guess. And if we continue walking, then this one has a lot more, and this one also. And these flowers again, they turn brown already, so they got hit pretty decent yesterday. And of course a lot of flowers were already pollinated at the point when we sprayed. So that's the apples that these trees are going to produce, and all the other flowers are just going to drop off. There's another thing I didn't film this winter, but we do have a row of dry-handed camise here at one of our bigger fields with Elster, and these dry-handed camise I did root cut them all with the excavator in 2024 autumn, yeah. But I was not able to do the row with the sprinkler line properly back then, and we could really see the difference on the other two rows and this row. So what we did this winter is that I put my clamp on, which we used to throw out apple trees, and we just lifted every pear tree out of the ground, just up in the air and back down. That way we cracked all the roots the tree has, and that does seem to slow down the growth a little bit on these trees. So that's just one more thing that we did to make them grow less so they produce more pears. So that's all why these stand a little bit under an angle sometimes, because I just lifted them all out. But if that is what brings them back in a proper production, then that's what we have to do. I mean, having pear trees with a low production, that's not a solution for the future. Having pear trees standing under an angle but with a high production, at least they make money then. It doesn't look that good, but it is how we have to earn our money. So we just need production. And yes, this is a lot of work. It's an awful lot of work, but if it helps, let's do it. Well, it's now the 19th of April and we are doing the second round of blossom spraying, as we need to do another round of blossom thinning because we have a very spread window of blossom this year, which means that we have a lot of flowers open today, which were not open last week. So we are spraying again, and again only the top heavy trees are getting treated. So we do the same settings as last time. That was everything above 70 clusters would get hit, and we do the same today. So that way we know that we still hit a lot of trees, and then we can always have on the lower ones if it's required, because they will come to hang 5 apples probably, and we need about 3 apples per cluster. We're back in the middle field again with Elster, and yeah, they are still in full bloom. So there's a lot of leaves on the ground at this moment, and we also got a lot more flowers open today than last week. Still we got a lot of flowers closed, as can be seen, but we do need to spray today because it's been 4 or 5 days since we sprayed these for blossom, and if you don't spray them now, then we're gonna get way too much apples. So we do have to spray them, and yeah, it's just a shame that we cannot hit them all because a lot is still closed. It's amazing how we got this much blossom on the fields, but we really need to thin it out. So let's get started again with the sprayer and do the second round of blossom thinning on application maps, of course. Well, thank you for watching. don't forget to like, share and subscribe so you get a notification when the next video comes online. And I really like to thank Munkhoff and Aurea Imaging to give me the chance to try out the Tree Scout, as it's a really big step up when you come from the drone images. So in the past 3 years I made drone maps for the fields and we sprayed according to that, but with the Tree Scout it's definitely a step up by knowing where the trees are and being way more precise with the blossom counting. I also notice it takes a lot of stress away from getting the correct calibration, as I get the calibration done way easier. So the Tree Scout is definitely a big help on the farm and I really enjoy working with that one.